Ryan Adams here, not in my usual locale, as you can tell, but when you've got to make a video, you've got to make a video, right? Here I am to talk about plant-based eating and how it can transform your life in 30 days. 30 days, not a long amount of time for someone that preaches sustainability and longevity. Ryan, why are you making a video about 30 days? That's not nearly enough time to change one's life. Absolutely incorrect. If you witnessed, like I do, how much my clients can change in even less time than 30 days, you wouldn't be leaving a comment like that. You'd completely understand what could be achieved in a short space of time with the right mentality and the right strategy. It is unbelievable what I'm seeing my Vegan Sim and Sustain students doing right now. The taste bud change, the habits change, the way that they're thinking, the limiting beliefs that they can overcome in as little as 30 days. Okay, relationship with food stuff, that's tough. That takes a long time, admittedly, to heal. And even after you've made grounds with it, it still needs work. It still needs iterating. It still needs reinforcing day in, day out, or maybe week in, week out, more realistically. However, the habits you can cement in as little as 30 days, the way your gut bacteria can transform, and that can dictate your taste preferences, cravings, taste buds, your palate, the way that can change, the way you can train yourself out of the illusion, the magic spell that junk foods and food addictions cast over you in as little as 30 days is absolutely remarkable. But in this time of advocating for patience, which is never a bad thing. Well, it can be, actually, rather. But usually advocating for patience is not a bad thing. Nobody has any urgency anymore. And I said this to a client recently, and that's what prompted me, actually, in part, to make this video. I said, what are you dragging your heels for? This client has done exceptionally well. They've had a great first 10 weeks with me. But the last week or so, they've really taken their foot off the gas, and we were examining why. And I said to them, what are you dragging your heels for? You don't have loads of weight to lose now. You've got the bulk of it off. You've got the last 5 or 6 pounds to go. Stop dragging your heels. Get this done so you can get into weight maintenance and then not have to be quite so strict and intentional. That doesn't mean blow your diet when you get into maintenance. It just means you don't have to be quite as strict and intentional when you're in maintenance versus a dedicated weight loss phase where you need to be on your game. Not perfect with every meal, but generally speaking, day in, day out, pretty well on your game to actually get that scale moving nicely, especially at that sort of final, more stubborn, typically stage of the last 5 or 6 pounds. But people drag their heels, man. People make this journey so much longer than it needs to be by being inconsistent, by being the Monday to Friday dieter and then boozing hard and eating a bunch of junk food at the weekend. Stop that nonsense. Stop dithering around and making your weight loss journey twice, 3 times, 5 times, 10 times as long as it actually needs to be. Stop that. Just get it done. We've lost that sense of urgency. The self-help space now, and this is permeated into the weight loss and the mainstream health world. Everyone's advocating for patience and consistency. And look, I get it. I preach it. I talk about this stuff. But you don't want to be so patient that you're not pushing yourself. You want urgency about you now, especially if you've been dithering around, going up and down the scale at the same weight for any more than a month. Get this done, get on with it, and you will be shocked at how much you can change in 30 days. Maybe not so much on the scale. Maybe it's between 5 and 10 pounds on that scale. By the way, even 5 pounds would be absolutely fantastic for many of you watching this. 5 or 10 pounds on the scale. Okay, maybe you've still got 50 to lose after that. Maybe that doesn't feel like a startling amount to you. However, internally, the foundations that you can lay in as little as a couple of weeks, never mind 30 days, but just a couple of weeks, the habits that you can begin to build, the positive momentum, the feedback, that amazing feedback that body gives you when you see the scale dropping, your energy soaring, your spirit changing, your sleep improving because of you working on your nutrition, your exercise programming. Oh my God, this gives you this uplift, this momentum, this self-esteem to whereby you feel unshakable, you feel like you can't be stopped. And all of this can be achieved inside a matter of weeks. And generally speaking, the more decades you have of being out of shape, of making bad food choices, of a poor mentality towards personal health, the longer this sort of transition period will be, this internal transformation shift will be. Generally speaking, I have found that to be true, anecdotally speaking, as a coach observing people. But still, 30 days, The stuff that I've seen people that have been overweight for 30 years do in as little as 30 days, the types of messages of gratefulness they send me, to gratefulness towards myself for assisting them in their journey, but more so themselves for actually taking action and actually really committing for 30 days, right? And then of course beyond that, but for an initial period, rather than, oh, well, I'll give this a go, and then being on the diet for 3 days and then disappearing. Absolutely not. For actually committing and being consistent, your transformation is just 10x rather than this on, off, on, off. Oh, I've got vacation coming up. Oh, I probably can't be consistent. Oh, my boss, I had an argument with my boss today. I'm going to go and binge out on junk food. People are a feather in the wind. People are a feather in the wind. And when you actually have some resilience and you're really, truly dedicated, I'm saying the same thing over and over, but it's amazing how you can change in 30 days. And this goes across the diet spectrum. Obviously, I help, vegans, vegetarians, and so on, people moving in this plant-based direction. That's what I advocate for. But this principle applies across the diet spectrum. It's amazing how quickly you can actually change when you are truly consistent. That's my battle cry today. Consistency is key. I know it's a cliche. I know it's super cheese, but damn, is it true? And not just because of the scales, but in here too. That consistency, keep saying yes, not saying no. You become a force. You become a force quickly, more quickly than you might imagine. That's my battle cry for today. See you soon, folks. If you need more help from me, veganslimandsustain.com. Speak soon.